This is a video about using inferences to help you model, and we're going to talk about locking inferences and encouraging inferences. So, as always, we select Bryce and delete him, and we've got a fresh new SketchUp model to work with here. Let's just really quick make a little building. So I'll take the push-pull tool here, and I'll take the line tool and draw from the midpoint to the midpoint, and then maybe I'll use the move tool. Oops, that's the push-pull tool. Let's use the move tool to just kind of pull that up. Now, that's not stuff you've seen before, but if you've maybe read ahead in the book, you'll know what I just did. I explain it later on in the book, so you don't have to worry about that. What I'd like to do is draw, I don't know, let's kind of come out here a ways and draw a little edge. And what I want to do is I want to draw this edge back exactly as far as this point. And you notice I'm not getting any kind of hint that's telling me how far back that is. So what I need to do is what's called encouraging an inference. And the way I do that is just by hovering. And hovering basically tells SketchUp what you want to be lined up with. So now that I hovered, did you see how now I get that little dotted linear inference that's basically a from point inference as I come over. Okay, cool. So now I can click there and I'll go over there. So what I just did was encourage an inference. Now what I want to do is show you about locking inferences. So watch this. What I want to do is draw an edge that's exactly as high as that house. Now what I could do is I could just come up as high as the house, and I could just hover on the little endpoint and come up, and so it sort of gives me this little linear from point inference, and then just draw the line, and I'll know I'm exactly as high as that line. But that's not always the most convenient way to work actually in SketchUp, because sometimes you're not going to be able to sort of see the thing that you want to line up with, and those inferences are going to conflict with other inferences. And so what you want to do is what's called locking an inference, and it's really pretty simple. Let's get the line tool again. I'm going to be going in the blue direction. Now, notice I'm actually, you can't see this, but one of my hand is sort of waving around in the air, my non-mouse hand. I'm not doing anything with it right now. As I move my mouse around, you notice I only get that blue on blue axis inference. Every once in a while there's green and there's red, but as I kind of move around in the model, the edge follows the cursor. What if I want to lock this in the blue direction? What I'm going to do, now I'm taking my left hand and I'm hitting the shift key right there. And you might be able to hear it on the microphone actually. So as I hold down that shift key, notice how that blue edge is actually thickening. So I'm going to hold down shift, and I'm holding it down. I'm not just clicking, I'm actually holding my finger down on the shift key. And now I'm going to move the cursor around, and watch what happens. As I move the cursor around the model, it's automatically going to lock me to the different things that I hover on, no matter where I am in the model. Look, if I want to come up exactly as high as that, exactly as high as that, something like this, I can just hover over the thing that I want it to line up with. Now as I'm hovering, now I still have my finger on the shift key. If I let go of the shift key, whoops, I lost my locked linear inference. So I need to go back and try that again. So let's get going in the blue direction, hold down the shift key, and then hover over the thing that I want it to be the same height as, and then click. And when I click there, now I know exactly that line is exactly as high as the ridge of that house. Now we're in perspective, which is why it doesn't look exactly right ever when I sort of hover around. But actually, if I draw a little line over connecting, you'll see that the line turns red, which says that I'm parallel to the red axis, which means that a line connecting this endpoint and that endpoint is exactly horizontal, which means this edge came up exactly as far as that edge. Okay, so that's a little video, it's quite short, about both encouraging inferences. So watch, we'll try to do that one again. I want to come over exactly as far as the end of this building, so I'm just going to hover over the point I want to come over as far as, and that now I'll get the little sort of dotted green inference that says I'm from that point. I can click and come over here. Let's take a little rectangle and, I don't know, draw a window on there, something like that. And then I'm going to take another line like this, and I want to come up exactly as high as the top of this window over here. So I'm going to hold down the shift key and then hover over the thing that I want it to be as high as, and click now, just like that. And now what I've done is I've created an edge that's exactly as high as that window, and I can kind of connect that down. So another use for that, I guess guess what I've done is sort of started to build another wall over here. But that is for another video. That concludes the Using Inferences to Help You Model video for SketchUp for Dummies.